No more talking about Keir the traitor Starmer. Oh dear. Only for this video though, don't worry. Don't worry. I'll give Keir the traitor Starmer the roasting he deserves later down the line, of course, as always. Good morning everyone, I hope everyone's doing well. Now, this time, I want to be focusing on Keir the traitor Starmer's Deputy Prime Minister, fucking hell, I can't even pronounce her name now. Angela Raynor. I'm sorry, it's because I already had like 6 hours sleep. But Angela Raynor has basically been found to be going off on holiday. A 2 million gaffe, if you will. And spending that time, of course, with an MP's ex-boyfriend. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, are we really surprised at corruption, at bribe taking at this point? Now, it wouldn't be surprising for me if Angela Raynor decided that she was going to show this MP a good time, if you will. But what I do know for a fact is that it is misconduct in a public office to take bribes. And this is something that should be thoroughly investigated, because having a person like that taking bribes as well as taking something else, which obviously I won't name here, but the fact that she's doing this, as I said, is misconduct in a public office. But this, for me, is not the most egregious thing that Angela Raynor has done. No, as of recently, she has decided to support Palestine. Yes, Angela Raynor has decided she will back the people of Palestine. What I find funny as well is I did end up finding a few bits and bobs around the net. People saying Zionists control the Labour Party. Really? Really? With Jeremy Hamas sympathiser Corbyn? Are you having a laugh? God. No, of course not. She is basically supporting Palestine. You know, the murderous bunch of cunts who want to wish genocide upon Jews. The same people who support Hezbollah and Hamas. Oh, but yes, the mainstream media won't tell you that, of course. Yeah, those people. Palestine thinks that they have the right to a bit of land and then wish for the genocide of a certain section of people because of their religion. And then, when the going gets tough for them, they cry victim. But that's the trouble with Islam. Islam is an expert at pulling on the heartstrings. They're an expert at playing themselves off as the victims when they are merely conquering warriors. Oh, sorry, cowards, I meant. Because they will only attack people when they have the greater numbers. Otherwise, if they don't have the greater numbers, they will start resorting to psychological warfare. Why do you think Islam loves to put their bases inside schools? Because, as I've mentioned before, who's going to want to bomb schools full of children? Or in this case, Islamic fighters? Who's going to want to bomb a school full of Palestinian wankers who want to see the end of Jews? Now, when you put it that way, it obviously seems pretty obvious. But of course, they use a school because it's the perfect front for a base for Islam, Hezbollah, Hamas, whoever. Because the cold bitter truth is, they like to use the mentality of, oh, you wouldn't want to bomb a load of children, would you? As a perfect guise to basically hide their war efforts. But of course, the mainstream media won't tell you this. You know the drill, folks, because say it with me, it doesn't suit the narrative. So no, of course the media aren't going to tell us about this. But how sad that Angela Raynor has decided to side with Palestine. But before I go any further into this video, I want to stress this because I cannot stress it enough. I want this to go far and wide. I want to get Tommy's attention with this. Tommy Robinson, of course. I want people to share these videos as always. And I will do everything I can on my part as well to get Tommy's attention, because I'll tell you now, as I said, I want to be on the big stage. I want to give an amazing speech, and I want to hold Keir the traitor Starmer to account for his actions. My email is practically the same as my username here, without the underscore, at gmail.com. You can find me there. Tommy, get in contact with me. I want to send a message to the establishment. I want to make sure that people understand that we do not take kindly to people who support terrorists, namely Angela Raynor. I want them to receive a message so powerful they won't just be looking under the bed for you, they'll also be looking under the bed for me, worried that I'll bite their bloody heads off. Metaphorically speaking, of course, and orally. But I'll link all my usual in the description below. I've been trying to do that as of late. But back onto what I want to talk about. Angela Raynor should not be siding with terrorists, because last time I checked, it is against the law to side with terrorists. It is illegal to aid terrorists. Now, while I accept she has not sent money over to Palestine or Hamas or Hezbollah, it doesn't change the fact that she is willing to put Palestine over her own people. That, unequivocally, like Keir the traitor Starmer himself, makes Angela Raynor a traitor. And of course, I will keep saying that shit. You know why? Because, as I've said before, and you can say it with me, I am not going to sugarcoat a motherfucking thing. I am not going to mince my words. I will say it exactly how it is, and I will do my best not to bullshit you. Think of me as a loose cannon, but instead of it just being able to fire, I don't know, maybe a couple of rounds a minute, think of me as a Kalashnikov firing hundreds of cannonballs out a minute. My God, the amount of holes in the Houses of Parliament. God, someone get a builder and foot me the bill. Anyway, the point is, the people in the establishment, they need to remember who their priorities are towards, namely the British people. And if they choose to side with terrorists, then unequivocally, they are not fit to stand in office. So, Angela Raynor, if you want to continue supporting Palestine, if you want to continue betraying your constituents, if you want to continue siding with Keir the traitor Starmer and persecuting the elderly, persecuting innocent people who are concerned with their kids, concerned for their country, you can take whatever messages you have and stick them in whatever orifice you wish, just like potentially you did with that boyfriend of yours. We have no time for gobshites like you, Angela Raynor, and it's time you were reminded of that. It's time you were reminded who you are supposed to serve, just like who Keir the traitor Starmer is supposed to serve. But if you keep deciding you want to side with terrorism, do not be surprised if it's not us who get the knock on the door, but it's you instead, from the British police, to take you away for misconduct in a public office.